cause I can do it my way. Me making music's like shooting hoops in the driveway.
All right, so welcome back to Masters with Mike, the show where we highlight everyday masters, people who step out of their routine, follow a passion, and build something meaningful through curiosity, persistence, and growth. Today's guest is someone who has turned a lifelong spark into a true craft. He's a project manager from Long Beach, New York, a world traveler building safer spaces, one project at a time. And somehow in between all of that, he's built an incredibly deep, curated collection of curiosities and baubles, I would say. Just a curio of curiosities, if you will. So welcome, Christopher Klemowitz.
What's up? Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Hey, buddy. Listen, we go back a long way. High school, I believe, although I don't remember you in high school. I'm kidding. I've seen pictures, which means it happened, but the jury's still
Don't make
out.
me bring up the track team story again.
All right. So Chris, welcome, man. So let's start with the origin story of Chris Klemowitz. You've done a ton of cool things, and truly this could be a 10-hour podcast or multiple episodes, but I want to hear after high school or during high school, what sparked your curiosity into collecting, and also what are some of the other amazing things you've done in your life that brought you to where we are today?
Let's go earlier. So I'm going to start with my father. My father loved baseball, and that got me into collecting baseball cards. I can remember being 2 years old, going to the local deli and picking up packs of baseball cards from 1977. I can remember this.
Nice.
I remember the font. I remember the font on the cards, and we used to look at them once, and we used to put them in a brown paper bag, because back then you didn't have plastics to put them in. So we put them in a paper bag, wrapped them up, put a rubber band over that bag, and we put them on a shelf. So we did this for years, and I'm going to say around 1982. Oh, I lost it, Mike. Yeah. So in 1982, I remember buying more cards and wanting to go put them, because we had stopped for a little bit. We did a couple of moves and things like that. That's another story. That's a real big story.
That's for another day.
Yeah, that's for another day. Yeah. That's the tragedy story, because we lived in Far Rockaway at the time. And so in the bungalow in the back where we kept our cards, I went to go put these up there. And I went and looked, and all the cards were gone. And I said to Daddy, my father, I go, Dad, all the cards are gone. He goes, really? Let me ask your mother where they're at. Went and asked our mom. She said, yeah, I threw that crap out. I was just sitting there collecting all the years of our collection. Thousands of dollars now. All that stuff's gone. Oh,
man.
Yeah. And so from that point on, I wanted to start collecting cards and take care of them, make sure I took care of them. So get your shoe boxes and stuff like that. And it spiraled from there, I guess.
You know, I remember collecting, back then it was just called buying.
Yeah.
Buying things. And we actually threw out, probably 10 years ago, a ton of Transformers, He-Man, like all the classic stuff. I didn't throw it all out. I threw the broken ones out, but I gave the other ones to my nephew, but I probably should get those back because they probably worth some money.
What's cool is that, so I guess I was 12. It's getting a little old for toys, but my uncle had bought me a Transformer for my birthday.
Cool.
I opened it up, and it was Megatron. I go, where did you find this? I go, because like they were tough to find by then. You know, like a Transformer was falling off. They fell off a cliff by then. It was like, I can't believe you found this. Like, where'd you get this from? And I took it out. I played with it like once or twice. Put the stickers on it, which I shouldn't have done. And then I put it back in the box. I still have that to this day.
Wow, that is insane. Do you have a Millennium Falcon by any chance?
I have 3 of them.
I love it, dude. See, this is why I remember, side note, I remember going to your old apartment in East Meadow, and this is the first time I ever saw your Chris room of all of the things you collected. And it ranged everywhere from obviously set lists to classic albums, to baseball cards, to posters, to really anything that one would find valuable, even either in your head or in real life, was in there. And I don't know if you still have half that stuff, but I hope you do.
I do actually. It's a mess right now, but I need to go back in there because that would be fun to like give you like a tour of things like.
Ooh. Can we do cribs? Klemowitz edition.
You know, that would be fun actually because we can go around and say, okay, walk around the room and say, okay, what's that? And then go in and describe that. Fun. I had fun doing that. Yeah.
We should
I'd be
do
like
that.
a museum curator. Yeah.
So, all right. So you graduate high school, Oceanside High School. What do you do right after high school?
When my mother passed away in 84, me and my brother and sister, because my father couldn't take care of us, he was a mess. We went out to California, and I loved California. So we were out there for almost 3 years, and I always said I wanted to go back. And I went and visited again in 1990 with my uncle that took care of me. And he said, if you want to move out here after you graduate, come on, move out here. I said, excellent, great. There's my in. I had no plans for college and stuff like that, so I wanted to go. So I went to California. He came, picked me up, asked me if he wanted to bring my brother, because we were all separated. Again, this is the whole other long story of my family history. So my brother, he and I came with me, and so we went out there. My uncle had a security business, and I remember him telling me, how much money these guys are making, like $25 an hour back in like 1993. That was a lot of money. That was a lot of money for doing that.
Yeah, and, for sure.
And so I remember, talking to him as we're getting closer to this. I go, so I'm going to work for you. This is going to be great. I'm making $25 an hour. $25 an hour. What are you kidding me? He says, we don't make that. I said, you told me you make $25 an hour. He goes, no, you guys make minimum wage. You told me you made $25 an hour. He goes, yeah, that was during the riots.
Oh God.
So during the LA riots, they were charging $25 an hour. They were making money hand over fist. So that was 2 years prior. So yeah, then it was back to $5 an hour. So I could have just stayed in New York and made that.
Yeah, for sure. So then you come back from California, and now you're obviously, you are looking to start looking at a career, I'm assuming. So what do you do when it's time to become an adult?
Okay, so time to become an adult. I became a security guard. That's what I did, but that company went under. And so I tried, times were rough. So this was 1995. Things were a little rough with work and stuff like that. I remember putting in applications like everywhere and couldn't get a nibble on anything. Not that I obviously I wasn't working at Taco Bell. I didn't want to do that. I wanted a job, and couldn't get anything. And my cousin, he came out of the military, and he goes, "Hey, I did this thing last summer." He goes, I went to Alaska and I worked on fishing boats. He goes, we did a salmon season. He goes, I made thousands of dollars. We can go do that. So we're like, oh, great idea. Sounds like a fantastic idea. So myself, my two cousins, and a friend of the family who lived in Fresno. I hate Fresno.
Fuck Fresno.
That's the big joke amongst my family. They know how much I hate Fresno. Anyway, so all three of the four of us, my uncle lent us his van. The famous van is another story too. I got billions of stories. We can go on tangents here.
I'm putting an asterisk on van. We're going to come back to that.
We'll come back to the van. Okay. Yeah, the van has some stories. Oh my God. So Uncle loans us the van and we go up to Seattle. And here's the caveat for it. I didn't do drugs. All right. So I never wanted to do drugs. So it didn't take someone with a frying pan and eggs to tell me this, So
I learned it by watching you.
Oh my God. So on our drive up, all they did was smoke pot on the way up there. And back in the day, to mask your urine samples, it was something called Golden Seal. I believe it's still out there.
I remember that.
It's used as a supplement now, but back then it would mask your pee. So no, man, we'll be fine. We got Golden Seal and drink all this water. And okay. And I remember covering my mouth, hoping I wouldn't get I thought that the contact high was a thing, but obviously it's not. It's been proven, and it's not anymore. So anyway, we go up there. We all are putting in applications to go try to get on these boats, and we all get called for a job. And I'm sorry. Hold on. My cousin who had experience gets called first. He goes and he's gone. So it's me, my cousin, and the friend of the family. We all get called on this big processing boat. We all go take a drug test. We're waiting for a phone call. We all take drug tests, rather. We're waiting for a phone call. The place was the dump. There were roaches looking for the rock.
Fun.
Great, great things. Great memories. Great memories. Interesting times living there. Now that apartment building is a multi-million-dollar building, and it costs a lot of money to rent there now.
Well, of course
it's
it
not
does
a dump.
now.
Nothing in Seattle is a dump anymore. Yeah. This is back when you could do it. We paid by the week. I think we paid like $50 a week to rent this room.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a dump for work. So anyway, we finally get this phone call. I pick it up. Okay, hey, he said, all right, Christopher, you've got some good news and bad news. Okay, what's that? The good news is you passed your drug test, but your other family members did not. I went, okay. So if you want to come work for us, you can. But them, I'm sorry, we can't take them. I'm like, let me check with them. I want to see what they want to do. So I asked them because I thought we were going to stay together. He goes, no, you fucking idiot. Go take the job. He says, we'll find something else. I said, okay. So I went and I went to the interview. They hired me. I got on a plane. I was 19 years old, got on a plane and went up to Alaska, ended up in Dutch Harbor. And yeah, I was in Dutch Harbor. Then I got on a ship, boarded a seaplane, flew out in the middle of nowhere. It was called Beaver Inlet, and landed there. And I talk about not being in Kansas. I'm looking around, my head's on a swivel. Snow-capped mountains, it's crazy. Like there's this big ship in the middle, in the center of this area. What would you call it? It's an inlet. And I got on this ship and I started to became a process.
So
and
you were like in the OG, one of the greatest, deadliest catches people.
Not yet. No, this is a process. The floating cannery speaks for that. So doing this, I decided I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Okay.
And so there's a process. You know, you have to go on, you have to become a deckhand first, and then you get to go on the ships, and then you go do the deadliest catch thing. So I remember I wanted to run the ship. I remember saying to the boss of the cannery, and he goes, I'm not going to waste your talent doing that. He goes, you can make more money going out there on the ships. He goes,
Jesus.
You'll do that. He told me, he says, no, go do this. He goes, I want you to do this. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you here, because you're great assets, but no, I want to stand in the way of progress. Go do this. So he let me go on deck. I became a deckhand, and then I got the opportunity to go on a tender boat. So I got on this tender ship, and we'd go out into the Bering Sea, where we met up with other ships. They were doing cod.
Wow.
So I remember, I used to write notes on the ships that came to us and stuff like that. And one of them specifically was the Northwestern. And if anyone's watched Deadliest Catch, Northwestern is Sig Hansen's ship. That's his boat. And so I remember going on his boat in the middle of the Bering Sea with, 10-foot swells going around, and we're taking the cod off his ship and going. So my job was to go down and make sure all the fish were out of the tank, because it would contaminate the next load that they got.
Okay.
As I'm down in this tank with 2 feet of water in it, to see if there's any cod floating around in there, there's an octopus wrapped around a chiller pipe. Now, I've never seen an octopus before, but it's a pretty big octopus. And I'm looking at this thing, and I go to grab it, and it's like it's wrapped around the pipe. So I go, well, let me go see. Let me go ask the pros, right? So I climb up, and I send it to Sink. I didn't know his name at the time, right? I know who he is now because remember he's an albino, so you can't mistake him. Right? So I climb up out of the tank, and I go, there's an octopus down there. And he goes, this has nothing to do with collecting, by the way. This is a fun story.
No, but it is a fun story. So I want you to keep going with it.
Okay. So I go up to him. I go, there's an octopus down there. He goes, you got to get it out, young man. And I go, it's wrapped around a chiller pipe. He goes, I can't get it off. He goes, you got to tickle it. He goes, no, seriously,
tickle the octopus.
Tickle it. I go, you tickle it? He says, I'm dead serious. Tickle it, and it'll let go. I go, all right, okay. I'm 19. What do I know, right? So I go back down to the tank, and he goes, tickle it. I climb down. I'm looking at this octopus wrapped around his pipe, and so I go and I start tickling it, and it lets go. Not
Wow.
me, it lets go.
Wow.
It let go. So I grab the octopus, throw it over my shoulder, and I start climbing up. And I come out. He goes, "Oh, you tickled it." And I go, "Yep, here you go." So I take it off my shoulder, and I go to hand it to him. You can keep it. He says, "No, throw it back in the ocean." So I'm getting ready to throw it over the ship, and my engineer on my ship goes, Chris, wait. Just don't throw it over. He goes, "I want to take pictures of that." So, okay, thinking nothing of this. So I take the octopus, throw it back over my shoulder, and I hop between the boats. We untie from them, we go. And so I have this octopus on my shoulder. I didn't realize like this I didn't realize that this is like a big thing. It's just an experience. I think everyone does this. This is what happens in life. You find octopus. You're right. You find 6-foot octopus. It's a normal everyday occurrence, right?
First of all, that's a fucking huge octopus. I can't even imagine what that
Yes,
looked like.
I didn't know that. So I'll send you a picture,
Good.
and you could put it in
I'll put it
here
in
later when you do your
Definitely.
editing. Yeah. You see me and the octopus. So we take pictures with it and stuff. I only have one picture. It's a very bad picture because back then you had those 110 cameras, the disposables, that you wound. And my engineer, he had a real camera, and I've lost contact with him though. But I'd love to get a decent picture of me with the
Absolutely.
octopus.
So can I ask you,
we let the octopus go.
was it as miserable as they portray it on TV? Is it that bad? It must be that bad.
Yes.
Oh God.
It could be terrible, blowing sideways, stuff like that. But you dressed for it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm young, dumb, don't know any better. And this is it. This is life. This is work. This is what you do.
Right.
So my mindset was just work, and I didn't care how bad it was. It's just like that's what I was there to do. I've seen 30-foot swells and shit. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that seems insane. I don't know if I could do that personally, but God bless.
Yeah. So one of the biggest swells I ever saw, captain on the back on the big ship. The captain put no one on deck. No one goes on deck. And me and a buddy of mine, we go, "Yo, let's go outside. Let's go see what it looks like." Right. So we go out, we go onto the rail, and it's pitch black. And the ship's rolling all over the place. And well, the ship rolls a certain way, and as it rolls, you can see the lights, and it's shining on the water. And the light, we can see the wave, and we see the wave going like up and above our heads.
Oh my
And
God.
we turn around and run back inside. We realize that that we're on the second deck, so we're like 30 feet up, and the wave went over our heads. But we realized that the waves aren't crashing over onto the ship. So we're like, let's go do this again and you get really the full effect of it. So we went out there, and we're holding on the rail for dear life, just in case the wave does crash over us and we don't go anywhere. So we have to find out. We know what we're doing.
You're fine. You're fine.
Fine. So no life jackets, nothing. We're dead if we fall off. Anyway, so we're holding on to the rail, and we're waiting for it, and we get the roll, and we watch the wave go up and over. It's like, holy shit. It was, so we were 20-something. It had to be a 35-foot wave.
Jesus, dude.
So these were consistent 35-foot waves. Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think people understand how big a 35-foot wave is. Like 35 feet is pretty tall, but when you have a mountain of water coming at you, I feel like it's a very different situation.
It's actually taller than your house. That would be 2 stories.
Oh my God.
That's only 20-something feet.
Jesus Christ.
And you still got another 15. You still got another 10, 15 feet above that. Yeah.
So did anything ever? Do they capsize the boats? I mean, does that happen or?
It does happen. So you get something called a slack tank, or your ballast are off, and if that happens, or a rogue wave, when 2 waves go and they kind of like sandwich you, and then they knocks you one way and knocks the other, and throws the ship out of sorts. It's a rare occurrence, though.
How do you get? How long does this last? Is it 1 season, 2 seasons? What do you do?
I did 2+ years of that.
Wow.
And I quit for a woman. I was going to be a lifer.
No.
And I quit for a woman. And that was the first and last time I ever quit a job for a woman.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, was it worth it a little bit or not?
Well, I never got to go back with a girl, so it wasn't. Yeah. I quit for her and I never did get back with her, which, oh well, you know. But yeah, it's like at the time, you're young and love, you think everything's going to work out and stuff like that, and it ended up not.
All right. So
So wait. So I'm going to
keep
wait.
going.
So up there, I made a ton of money working up there, right? And so you do like seasons, you do a couple months,
Mhm.
and then I'd come home for like a week or two, and I go work in port, work on the ship, and then we go back out and do another season. And at the time, we were doing a pollock and cod. There was an A season and a B season,
Mhm.
and I'd come home for Christmas or Thanksgiving or 4th of July, and I would buy sports cards. I spent all my money on pool, Jack Daniels, and sports cards.
Well, it could have been crack. So you made the better
Oh my
choice.
God, yes. Yeah, right. And so I had ended up getting hurt on the ship, and I had to do rehab on my wrist because I crushed my wrist. I had a 2-ton net slam into me, and
Jesus.
so I lucky it didn't break, but it crushed all the ligaments in my wrist, and so I was off for 2-3 months, and they paid me, and I got a per diem to stay home basically and do rehab.
Perfect.
And so what I do, I went and bought sports cards. That's what I did. That was 1997. Great year for cards. Fun year. Fun year. And so that's what I did. I bought sports cards. I became very good at pool because I went to the bar every night. And
Perfect. Yeah. What was your favorite sports card to buy? Were you a baseball, basketball, football?
So it was always baseball. Always baseball. But then I started delving into other sports because like you had Gretzky was in LA. So like that was a big deal. I didn't care for hockey much because I was an Islander fan, and I went through pain of them getting great stars and then trading them away or letting them go.
Of course.
I got tired of them, but I still wanted to collect hockey cards because there was other new exciting players. Joe Thornton was the big young kid coming in at the time. Mario Lemieux was still playing. He was going to be better than Gretzky. So this is all exciting stuff, watching this on ESPN and stuff. Then also living there when I was younger, when I was there, we had the Lakers. We had Magic Showtime.
That was great.
That's how I became a basketball fan.
Gotcha.
But then we had Jordan. We had Jordan in '97 and stuff like that. And so watching him, he's someone I hated. I hated Michael Jordan because
Really?
he was so good. So here's why. He was in the year that they beat him in I think it was the finals. Yeah, it was the finals. Jordan went up for the layup. He had it, with his right hand, easy. And he brought it down, bring it the other way, and did it, and did the reverse layup.
Yeah.
It's a famous move. It's on all the highlights and stuff like that. He had no reason. He had no reason to do that, but he did it to prove a point. And so I hated him after. I couldn't stand him. Hated his guts. How dare you do that to my Lakers?
I mean, but still, though, look, is there anyone as exciting to watch as Jordan? Probably not. So.
No. He was must see television, and back then, it seems like all the national games or the shown on national television, or whatever, something exciting always happened. Like it was you had to watch. Like I remember the choke game with Reggie Miller with the choke against the Knicks. It's like stuff like that. It's like it was crazy. It's like you got to see all these things. It's like, and now like that doesn't seem to happen anymore.
No, because I feel like that time was definitely magic. I mean, you had these people were superheroes basically, and you're watching them, turn a sport that was like double dribble the game until this insane, this insane kind of things that you and I can't do. I mean, I can't do it, but maybe you can. I don't know.
Used to.
Right. Back in the day, yes.
Yeah. When I was younger and I could jump up and dunk a ball. Yeah, I can't do that anymore. Yeah.
No, God, no.
Yeah.
All right.
Gravity has taken over.
Well, listen, I mean, you're strong. You're a strong man with a good constitution, so you'll bounce back. What happens next? Take me after your harrowing season in the Bering Sea. What's your next move?
Okay, so I quit for the girl. We don't get back together, so I go back home to California and looking for work again. Can't find work. Can't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on unemployment, and at the time, unemployment was 3 months. You got 3 months of unemployment in California, and after that, well, actually, it was from Alaska. And I worked in Alaska, so I got unemployment from them. and they gave me a third of what I should have made. I should have been making like $500 a week, which was a lot of money back then.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I made like $150 a week.
Wow.
So even back then, even back you could get by on that. That's what I got.
What more does a man need?
That's what I did. And what more do you need, right? Yeah. So what do poor people do? They get cigarettes, alcohol, and lotto, right? Yeah. I just didn't do the lotto. I was in the 70s, retired, because I lived next to 2 golf courses. So I would jump on in the twilight and play golf all the time. I was actually a really good golfer. I had nothing else to do but play golf.
Mm-hmm.
And I befriended these older guys that would take me out. They had free passes to play golf. All I had to do was pay for the cart or ride in the cart with them. So I got to play free golf, 18 holes all the time for these free passes. And they said, this guy, John, they get the passes from. He says, Chris, you should meet him. He's a nice guy. So I finally got to meet this person. And he's talking to me, and he likes me. And he gives me a stack of passes. Here you go. I go, thanks. It's great. I never have to pay for golf ever again. This is amazing. And he says to me, my unemployment had just run out. He says to me, you don't by any chance need a job, do you? I go, are you working? I go, no, I actually do need a job. He goes, good. He goes, come out to the ranch on Monday, 7 a.m. and we'll get you set up. Fantastic. So I became a maintenance hand at a ranch, Silver Saddle Ranching Club in the Mojave Desert.
What?
It is the biggest. It is the biggest land scam still going to this day.
How so? What is the scam of the land?
So you ever see those boxes? Win a vacation, stuff like
Sure.
that. So they put these all over in LA and stuff like that. And so people fill them out and they go, all right, you want a free stay at the ranch, for the holiday weekend. Let's say Memorial Day weekend, 3-day weekend. They come out there, they put you up and stuff like that. And part of it is you get to meet with one of the realtors. And they have millions of acres out there. They have a couple model homes that are built so that you can go in and look at them and stuff like that. Other than that, the land is barren. There's nothing out there. There's literally, you guys need to look this up, okay? I believe they did stories on this place, okay? So they take you out there and they show you like what LA used to look like in like the 1930s. It looks just like this area. But it says now look what LA is now. It's Mecca. And so that's what they're selling you on. And so what they also do is, so you want to buy a piece of land. It's a plot of land cost, I believe, was $1,000 or $10,000. I think it was 10,000 for a plot. And if you put 10% down, you get to buy that plot of land and you get to use the ranch whenever you want because you'll be part of the club.
Ooh, that sounds fun and exclusive.
So they sell this to the people and people buy into it. They have their plot of land out there and they have so many. And if they stop paying on it, then they just take it back and they sell it to someone else. And they have millions and millions of these things. But anyway, so that's how it's a land scam. Silver Saddle Ranching Club. Look it up, boys and girls.
That's ridiculous. You should have bought some land, though. Let's go. You could have been a millionaire by now.
Oh, so segue with that. It's part of California City. California City is I think it's the 3rd largest city land-wise in all of California. It's a huge mass area. I ended up building the prison that's out there that ICE took over now. But also, California City was the first city in California to legalize the growing of marijuana.
Really?
So when they did that, their property prices quadrupled overnight.
Wow.
You used to be able to buy an acre for $1 out there. And that's all gone. Those days are all gone now.
I can picture it like in the 1920s where they started to sell people on like, come on out, we got plenty of land for you. Like, is there gold out there?
It is, yeah, of course. Yeah, California, yes. One of the bigger ghost towns is Randsburg. That's 25 minutes away from us. And we used to go out there, going into old mine shafts for fun. Like we used to climb down that. That's another whole story.
Jesus Christ, dude.
We need to do a session on that. That was some wild stuff doing that.
Like you were inviting danger at every turn at this point now. All right. So you're
Yeah,
living
I
on
already
this.
did one of the deadliest jobs in the world. So yeah.
Yeah. You're living on this ranch now. You're climbing into old mine shafts. What are you doing out there?
I was a maintenance hand, so I had a good work ethic. So they would tell me to go do something, and they'd be like, "All right, that should take you a couple days to do that." And I'd be done like in 2 hours. They go like, "What, you're done already?" I go, "Yeah, I'm done." It's not that hard, you know. Like they give it to other people there that were just slackers, and they just dick around and not do it. No, I wanted to work. I wanted to make sure I had a job. You know,
Mhm.
you didn't hire me, you know, just for two little tasks. And that's it. And I don't need you anymore. No, I want you to show that I can do stuff. I'm valuable. I'm an asset. You know?
You are valuable.
So they actually, so okay, now I did this for 6 months, and this comes into more now of my career now. So I did that for 6 months. They approached me with wanting for me to run the ranch. I would be in
Okay.
charge of the maintenance of the ranch. And I thought about it, and I was like, that's gonna. It was a couple years away though for me to do that until the one guy retires. You know, he still had a couple more years. He was going to teach me everything. But at that time, there was a prison being built in that when I not so that was being built. They were paying prevailing wage, and at the time in California, it was $17 for unskilled and $26 for skilled, which is
Wow.
a decent amount of pay. That was 1997. That was a decent amount of money back then. And I tried getting on, couldn't get hired. Like everyone was getting hired, but myself and my cousin. Come to find out, years later, we got blackballed.
Really?
We got blackballed. So my uncle that took care of us, he would work in LA and leave my brother and sister alone. Like if Child Protective Services were called on us back then, you know, my brother and sister would have been taken away because there was no one watching them. You know,
For
they were in
sure.
high school, but no one was watching them.
Wait, how
So
old are you at this point
my uncle
now?
would come.
How old
I
are you?
am 21 now.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
21.
Still.
My sister is in high school though, and my brother. Actually, wait, no, I'm sorry. No, my sister went off to college, so she's away at college. My brother is, I believe, he's a senior. I'm sorry, yeah, my brother's a senior. But so rewind why we were blackballed. All this
Yeah.
time, my brother and sister were left alone living in that house. Every morning when my brother woke up, he would open up his window. He would play Yellow Ledbetter on my stereo system because I was in Alaska working. He would crank it all the way up to 9. I said, never put it on 10. You'll blow the speakers. Always on 9. And he would
Right.
put it on 9, and he would serenade. He would serenade the surrounding houses with Yellow Ledbetter every
My God.
freaking morning. So the guy who owned the construction company that was doing the work on the prison lived across the street from us.
Mhm.
So he had the pleasure of hearing this every morning also.
Oh,
And
God.
also, my brother and sister would have friends come over because it was a free for all, you know? And so they always see these cars coming around. So they thought we were drug dealers. And they didn't want to hire myself and my cousin because they thought we were bad people. You know, we never actually talking to us or anything. You know, like I said, but years later he came out and told us this. You know, I was like, oh my God. And I remember yelling at my brother. I go, hey, dickhead, you know, I didn't get a job because of you for a while, you know? I missed out on making good money.
Because you're playing Pearl Jam too loud.
Because my uncle wasn't there and people would come over at all, you know, times of night or whatever. So anyway, I get hired on to do that. So I'm getting interviewed. And in Alaska, I was a deckhand. You run the cranes. So I knew how to run cranes. And they have this crane out there called a travel lift. It's a gantry crane on wheels.
Okay.
And that's what they use to pick up the prison. That's what they use to pick up the prison cells out there. Big concrete Legos. That's the way I could describe it. And so the other owner of the construction company that's interviewing me, he says, Mr. Klemowitz goes, I understand you know how to run cranes. I go, yes, I do. He goes, would you like to run that one? I go, now I knew other people that said they could run cranes and they got in the cab of that thing and didn't know what the fuck they were doing and they ended up getting fired, right? So I was like, already I'm screwed because I don't know how to run this thing. Right. So I was honest with him. I go, I've never ran that type of crane before.
Mhm.
Just so you know. He goes, well, do you want to try? I go, yes, I do.
Sure.
Cool. So you start tomorrow. He says, you start tomorrow. I go, can't leave my job high and dry like that. And he looks at me, he puts his head down. I go, I got to give him a week notice or something. I just can't leave him high and dry like that. He goes, no, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. I'll see you in a week then. It's okay, cool. And I was at the ranch hand over there. And I said, hey, I got the big time. I'm going over there to run cranes for them. He goes, if you guys offer me more money, you want to give me that spot, I'll stay. I won't leave. I go, I can't do that now. He goes, Chris, go take that job. He goes, because it's going to be a while before I can bump you up.
Oh yeah.
So I went and I started to work for them. So my first week working there, my nickname was Crane Chaser Chris. So what I did is I did the rigging. I followed the crane wherever it went, and I hopped up and down rigging for my cousin who was actually running the crane. He got to work first before me. He got on like 2 weeks or so before I did. And he kept on telling me, hire my cousin, hire my cousin, hire my cousin. And because he did such a good job in the crane, they got me in there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I had these Caterpillar boots that I still have calluses on the back of my heels from these things. From walking so much, I actually bled. I blisters. I bled through them with my socks. I walked so much, like I was doing more than my 10,000 steps back then. You know,
yeah, for sure.
More. When I come home, my socks would be pink from the blood and sweat from my feet. It got to a point where it was so bad. I said to my cousin, I go, I'm quitting. I can't do this anymore. You know, I put Band-Aids on my heels and stuff like that. I go, it's not working. Maybe I buy a new pair of boots or something. I go, this is terrible. I can't do this anymore. My cousin says, don't quit. He goes, don't. He goes, don't. He goes, think about it this way. He goes, we were working like 12 hours a day. And I told him, I said, the money doesn't even matter anymore. I don't care. This isn't worth it for me. You know, I'd make more money than I ever did in my life. I go, I don't want to do this anymore. He goes, this is what I think about. He goes, every hour that goes by and I'm doing overtime, he goes, okay, now I'm making $42 an hour. He says, and then after 12 hours, he goes, then I'm making, $56 an hour. He goes, this is what I think about, Chris. And this is why I don't quit and I keep on going. And I look at him and go, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. I go, look at my feet. I don't care.
Right? My feet are bleeding.
And so my feet are bleeding and stuff like that. And so I'm talking about it. So I go, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting ready to quit. And then one of the other crane operators goes, Chris, come here. Gets me up in the crane and starts showing me some things. He goes, all right. He goes, now you're going to operate. He goes, why is that? He goes, because I'm quitting and you're taking over my job. I go, oh my God. Okay.
It's happening.
I'm doing it, right? I'm doing this now. Yeah.
It's
happening. He gave me a 5-minute tutorial and he says, okay, you got it. See you later. I'm out of here. He left and he quit. I never saw him again.
Jesus Christ, dude.
He went off. And so then I became, so my feet got to heal and I didn't quit. So that's why I didn't quit the job.
If I may ask, was there like a certification process at all? Or you just kind of learned how to drive it?
No, the laws are very loose back then. Mm-hmm. And I believe New York is one of the main states that they changed this for this reason. Because any Tom, Dick, and Harry, you could throw up in the cab of that thing and operate it, and I've proof of that, but I could run it efficiently. And so, and a travel lift was not designated as a crane. It was a travel lift. So you got around laws for that. They never did up until I quit in 2012. You never had to get a certification for it.
Wow.
Which was interesting.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I can't, like, how big of a crane are we talking?
It was a specialty thing.
Is it like a giant crane or is it?
Giant crane? Yeah. So it's about 30 something feet high because we had like 15. Yeah. So let's say it's 40 feet high, the top of it. Because we had the bar, the spreader, and then pick up the piece, get over that. Yeah, so let's say it's about 40 feet high or so. It's got 4 legs. It's about 30 feet in length, 40 feet high. And it's got 4 legs on it, 4 tires, and it's got 2 beams going across it. So you put a beam on it and that would traverse. It had 2 hooks. And so you could run those independently or both at the same time.
Wow, that is
I don't.
Wild.
Unless you see it, I guess I can't. Yeah, I can try to explain it as best I can, but you have to see what it looks like. MyJack. It's called a MyJack. Look up MyJack, and
I will.
we'll segue to that. You'll look that up, and you'll show the picture of it, so all the listeners can see what the hell a MyJack is.
All right. So now you're operating cranes. You're a professional crane operator. And when do you start building prisons?
So 1997, the first prison we built was for the Corrections Corporation of America, CCA. They've been brought up in the news quite a few times. Their name comes around when you hear private prisons. So they were building a lot of prisons. A lot of states were hiring them to do so because they didn't have the capacity to do it, and they were a cheaper alternative. Like Hawaii. Hawaii doesn't have a prison system. They would ship all their people to Arizona, and they go to prison there.
Really?
So we built prisons for Hawaii in Arizona. But the one we built, so what they would do is they'd build prisons, and eventually the federal government or whatever, someone would take them on, or CCA would just run the prison themselves.
Really?
That's what they ended up doing.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so I built at least one prison a year for 15 years. Is that right? Yeah, for 15 years. That's correct. Yeah.
Wow. And all the while, are you still collecting at this point, or what is this still in the background, or did you stop?
So I'm making more. I am making more money than God. So yes, whenever I went to another town, well, California City, I had sports card. There was a card shop there, and I spent a lot of money there. I personally kept them open. I kept them in business. So because everything was cheap out there. If you look up California City, it's a podunk town. Desert life is the best life, though. I loved being a desert rat. So when we go to other towns, rent was cheap back then, not like now. We'd go to some town, and I was paying $200 a month for a house.
Wow.
Like in Virginia, I paid $250 a month for a 3-bedroom house. That's the going rate was.
That's
I had
ridiculous.
a house all to myself. Yeah, $250.
God.
And I used to drive out because I lived in Pennington Gap, Virginia, the armpit of America. Beautiful place.
Oh,
you heard of OxyContins, right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, of course. Wasn't.
I knew people that were robbing other people thousands of dollars just to get their fix and stuff like that.
Jesus.
Crazy time to be alive. Crazy time to be alive. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, let's. Thank you. So living in Pennington Gap, Virginia, there was nothing around. You had to drive to the Tri-Cities. Tri-Cities is like Johnson City. God, I'm going to forget the other two names of 2 cities. Bristol, and there's one other one, and I forgot the third city. I haven't been there in years. But it's called Tri-City. I would drive out there, and there was a sports card store out there, and I would go out there. Once every 2 weeks, I go out there and buy stuff from him, and I keep on collecting. So that's my other spot. And then every town we'd go to, I'd go and look in the phone book. That used to be a thing, and I'd look up sports cards and collectibles, and I would go, and I would get my fix. I would go and find it, because back then you didn't buy retail. You didn't go to like what is it, 7-Eleven, and buy cards like that, because the retail stuff always had junk in it. It was harder to pull good cards. You always wanted to get the hobby boxes from the hobby stores.
Oh,
so I would find one of those, and I'd go there and spend my money with it.
Oh, right. Like Cosmic Comics in Oceanside.
Cash, yes. And because what's his name? Doherty's father used to have the card shop in the back there.
Mm-hmm.
Good people. I loved his father. His father was a cool person. And Raganese was the other father. The other guy.
Yes.
Yeah, both of those guys. Good people.
Right. Yes.
Because Sue was in my grade. So I would go to the hobby shops because I paid cash. I would buy a lot of stuff. They didn't charge me tax, and that was like one of the what do you call it? I guess unwritten rules.
Mm-hmm.
If you paid in cash, you didn't pay tax. So when part of my collecting thing, breaking is one of the big things now. Breakers,
okay.
You buy a case of cards, and you pick a team, and they open up the packs, and you get all the cards from those teams.
Okay.
So I started doing this in 2016.
Hmm.
with I'm gonna give them a name drop. They're called Real Breaks. They've won like Breaker of the Year for like 4 years in a row now because that's become such a big thing. So the industry, I actually asked them if I could join their company. I wanted to buy into it because I saw this years ago. This becoming a huge thing. These guys are all millionaires now that own this company, and it was my in. I actually tried. I tried to get into it, and they said no. I have my partner. We're good. Thank you though. And I was like, I'm still upset to this day that he didn't let me in on it because I'd be I'd be I'd be doing something that I loved and getting paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, so we're all the while you're doing sports collecting. You every job you've had, you found a way to go and support your hobby and support these local stores. What else were you collecting at the time? I know you're a big music guy, so are you also collecting music memorabilia? Are you collecting posters? What else are you? What are your favorite things to collect?
So when I was out in the road, sports card and music
Hmm.
were two of my favorite things to collect. Music, you never get enough of it. So
Right.
I started off with a record player, and my first record I ever bought was the Beastie Boys' "License to Ill."
Oh,
That was in 1980, I think. Yeah, and I remember I had Skip in it one day, and my uncle had come into my room, and I go, "The record's skipping." He goes, "Oh yeah, it's going to skip right on out of here." He picked it up out of the record player, bent it like a taco, and threw it out. I don't know why. I don't know why he had such ilk for the Beastie Boys. I don't know why. To
do
this
you
day,
remember, by the way, side note, when I found out the Beastie Boys were a punk band before they were a hip hop band, and it blew my mind.
it wasn't until years later,
Yeah.
when I started getting into punk music, because supposedly the Beastie Boys BBs because they had their love of the Bad Brains, and that's
Hmm.
why they named themselves the Beastie Boys.
Yeah. Pretty
And they wanted
insane
to
too.
emulate the Bad Brains, like everyone else. Minor Threat wanted to emulate the Bad Brains. The Misfits wanted to emulate the Bad Brains. They all did.
Absolutely.
That's how much of an influence that band had. A bunch of Rastas smoking pot,
Yeah.
playing music faster than anyone ever thought they could back then.
It is. So, you know what? Like Beastie Boys were probably my all-time favorite band, and it's the band I've seen the most. Besides now, repetitive bands like Dave Matthews and Fish and yada yada
Really?
yada. But Beastie Boys was a band I saw the most. I remember the last show I saw them was at Central Park Summer Stage, and they did one set of all their hip hop and one set of just instrumental, and it might be one of my favorite concerts ever. I mean,
Was that
hands down.
1994?
It must have been. I remember their stage setup. First half was like straight hip hop. Second half, they had like just these lounge lights strung across the stage, and they came out in suits, and it was a full instrumental, and it was awesome.
Yeah. If I'm trying to remember correctly, I saw them in 1994. Actually, the reason why I became an Alaskan fisherman is because of this incident. I was a security guard, and I had to work, but I got tickets. A friend of mine got tickets to see them in Santa Barbara
Wow.
at the Natural Amphitheater Bowl there,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, screw it. I'm going to just say that I went to work and not show up. And I didn't show up. Instead, I drove up to Santa Barbara
Nice.
to go see the Beastie Boys. And
So good.
I believe the Bad Brains opened up for them.
Wow. Wow.
I believe they opened. I'm trying to remember. It's so long ago now. But I remember the concert being awesome. They did play Ryman and Steele, which I was excited about. But they played for an hour and 5 minutes. That's it. It was one of the shortest concerts I've ever been to. I was like, because like when they came out and played their guitars and stuff afterwards, so that they did what was the big one? Sabotage. Like that was
Yes.
like one of the last songs they played. I go, well, this is like the encore though. What? They're not
Yeah.
done yet. No way they're done. And they walked off the stage. I go, that's it. I couldn't believe that was it. And anyway, I ended up getting fired from that job, and
Man.
and hence I started looking for work, and that's how I went up to become an Alaska fisherman because I
Gotcha.
didn't have a job as a security guard anymore.
Hey, listen, it worked out, right? So we're so you're out you're building you're building prisons. Where did it take you? Like where did you build prisons? All over the U.S. or were you kind of like, yeah? I know you were in Iraq for a bit. I want
Yes.
to talk about that also.
Yeah. So I built prisons all over the world. I spent a year in Barbados
Wow.
building one there. I built them I had it written down what time. I think it's like 15 different states I built them in.
Jeez.
So I did a lot of I moved at least once a year, every year for 15 years. Sometimes
Wow.
sometimes I would move twice a year. I got very good at packing and very good at taking stuff with me. So my collectibles, taking them with me from place to
Hmm.
place, it got to be tiresome sometimes.
I'm sure.
Logging these baseball cards with me and stuff everywhere. That stuff's not light.
No.
It's not light at all.
I can imagine not. You don't build prisons anymore, right? You're out of the prison
I do not.
business.
That is
What
correct.
do you do currently now?
Currently, I decided to try my hand at working in an office, and I'm a
Oof.
manager. I'm a project manager of a miscellaneous metals company. Yeah, I wanted to save my body for when I got older, and
Yes.
instead I got fat sitting behind a desk.
I know, right? Listen, wow. Well, you were one of the first people I knew that ever rucked. So I am like, that's an impressive habit to have. So rucking, remember,
Ruck.
like you put the weights in your backpack.
Yes,
and
yes,
walk around?
yes. Yeah.
You were the first guy I knew. Now I've seen you can go buy like an actual rucksack where you could it comes with weights.
Yeah.
That's something we should have invented that a long time ago, by the way. What an easy in. So at what point do you decide to take your like hobby and start to try your hand at actually working in the industry of like selling cards and trading and stuff like that?
Okay, so I was always buying stuff on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 2016, I was kind of getting out of 2015, pardon me. I kind of wanted to get out of it for a little bit because like, this stuff's not going anywhere, and let me see. I go, let me start selling this stuff. So I was selling cards on eBay, and I was making money off of it. I go,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this isn't bad. And then I forgot what sparked it, but then it was the breaks. That's what it was. Seeing the breaks, I got full back into the hobby again. But so 2015, I was selling stuff because I wanted to buy records instead. That was my new. I wanted to go back into nothing but records because I think it's the best way to listen to music.
I agree totally, 100%. Yes.
And so I had cards that I had for like years. I had like LeBron James rookies. I remember selling one for $350, and I was like, oh, that's not bad. I had it for 10 years at this point. And it hasn't really exploded like how I thought cards would. Nothing like really went up. I remember I had that LeBron James rookie's like a couple $1,000s now. So,
God.
so whoops. Yeah, I'm going to tell you some horror stories with that. I had a Steph Curry RPA. That's a rookie patch auto. And one of the things I hated Panini and them taking over the basketball cards. I didn't like how they looked. I didn't like any of it. I loved Upper Deck. I love Topps, Fleer,
Yeah.
all these guys. I love what these guys did with cards. Fleer was gone by that point. But in 08, 09, I was buying these cards. I go, it sucks. I don't like this. This is dumb. I just don't like these cards. And so I stopped collecting basketball for quite a few years. I didn't start again until like 2016 with the breaks and stuff like that. I started getting back into it. But anyway, I had this. So in 2015, I had this RPA of Steph Curry. I threw it on eBay, started at 99 cents. It sold for like, $370.
Crazy.
I was like, holy cow. I didn't expect to get that much for it. The card just sitting in a box doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
And that card's worth like $13,000 today, but oh well.
Jeez. Oh God. So how do you see? This is the problem. This is the problem with buying and selling the things you love. When do you decide to you let it go?
So you have people that collect. I balance them both now. Like I have to make it fun for me still, even though I do sell things. I collect certain players. I do themes, and it makes it enjoyable. Like you have a quest for going on for something. Like I did the rainbow of a Bobby Witt and Mike Trout card, two of my favorite baseball players. They happen the rainbow is collecting every color of that. And I think there's like 40 different colors that's how many different variations are of the card, which is killing the card industry. We'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, for sure.
How I think there's going to be a huge crash. So 2015, I started selling stuff. 2016, I get interested in the world of breaking, and I go back into it full on again. So now, fast forward, was it just before? No, it was just after COVID. So I'm going to say COVID was 20 or 21.
I think it was I think it was 21, I believe. It was 20. It was 20. It was 20. And we went back in 20. Yeah.
Okay. So slightly before that, when I was living in East Meadow, the manager of the beverage barn was also in the sports cards. And he and I, we're still friends to this day. He's one of my partners in crime doing this. He and I would drive to sports card shows. And I remember during the pandemic when things were starting to open up, I remember putting on our masks and driving to Jersey to go to card shows and buy things,
Yeah.
because there was nothing going on here. So we had to go to other states and stuff like that just to get our fix.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can do the breaks and stuff, but there's something better, like seeing, holding them in your hand and stuff like that.
Right.
You get to see them, right then and there. So we started doing that. And I go, right after the pandemic, I go, I want to try my hand at going to one of these shows and selling things. I said, let's give this a shot. And so I got a table, nervous as hell.
Sure.
I was up till midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning for a week, putting prices on things, sorting stuff, because I'm like, what am I going to bring? I was making dollar boxes that people can go through. So I see those are a big hit with people. So I had all this stuff, and I went there, and I killed it.
Nice.
I killed it. And still, my only friend to this day to ever go see me do this is Paulie. Thank you, Paulie. None of you miserable bastards have ever come to see me in my element.
This
Paulie,
is true.
Paulie is the only one.
He's a good.
Paulie was the only one.
He's a tier 1 friend for
He's
sure.
He's tier 1. That's great. I love the tiers. I don't know which one of you came up with that, but that's hysterical. I still love that
It's
to this
great,
day.
dude.
The tier system.
It's got to be, I got to imagine, like with the dollar boxes, right? Part of the rush of going to a show and buying is maybe finding that, like, diamond in the rough, the needle in the haystack, right? If you have a dollar box, are there some gems thrown in there? How does that work?
Yes. I put a couple of Easter eggs in there. Absolutely. Hoping that people would find them. Like when Aaron Judge, when he was on his 60 home run pace that one year,
Mm-hmm.
I had put some of his first cards in there for like $5 each. They were like
That's
$50
awesome.
cards.
Yeah.
And what was funny is that no one was grabbing them. No one was picking them out. And so I pulled them all out and I sold them for $50, and they sold them though. They wouldn't buy them in the bargain bin, but they would buy them when they're out in the showcase, which was weird. I still don't understand that to this day.
I got to imagine that. And it's almost like when you have a product that you're selling, if you undervalue it, people don't want it. They want to see that you're valuing it appropriate. Maybe is that what because I know like if I go to buy recently bought a snowboard for my son, and it was easily a $400 snowboard that was on sale for $200. And in my head, I'm like, is it broken? Is there something wrong with it? Like, am I getting fucked by paying $200? Even though I knew I wasn't. But maybe the psychology of it. It must be fascinating to dig in and figure out the psychology of buying items that are really fiat currency, right? Like we're putting a value on it. It's not really,
That's right. Fiat. That's a very good. Exactly what it is. A piece of cardboard. Like my girlfriend says all the time. It's cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
And Melissa, she also came up with a great term. So watching breaks, hearing them tear open the wrappers, she calls it crinkle time. I think that's a great name for it, crinkle time.
It's so true.
So I'll be watching a break or something like that. She goes, "Oh, it's crinkle time, huh?"
It's like scratching behind the ear.
Yeah. I told the breakers that too. That the guys at Real Breaks, I told them that term. I go, I love that term. I think it's hysterical. I go, you shouldn't call it break. You should call it crinkle time. Yeah, call it crinkle time.
It's crinkle time.
There we go. It's a good idea. I'll start wearing that to the shows.
That's the name of our new podcast, Crinkle Time.
Crinkle time. There we go. Oh. Yeah, that's funny.
All right.
So you talk about the dollar boxes, things like that.
Yeah.
So before cell phones, you actually had to know prices, or you carried around a price guide. Like you had to know what you were doing going in there. If not, you were going to get taken advantage of.
Right.
So you had to know your prices. So you had to know your prices and things like that. Nowadays, all the kids, like certain cards, like I don't have prices on, and I joke with the people that come up. They go, I go, they say, what's the price of that card? I go, well, you're going to tell me, aren't you? Because they take their phone, they go up to it, they scan it, and they pull up a price, and they'll tell you what they want to pay. Well, the last sales were this, and because prices fluctuate all the time.
Right.
And so, like maybe the card went down or something like that, and they'll tell you when it goes down. They won't tell you when it went up, though.
Who values the cards? Is it just kind of like almost like a stock where it's in demand, it's more higher priced? Like, is there like a main, like a Bible of valuation, or is it just what people are paying at the time?
A lot of people, well, it's a couple different things. Like there's something called card ladder, which I hate. I hate card ladder. Every time I see someone use it, they'll throw out a price, and I always find that I don't know where they get these prices from, because they take like Fanatics Live, another company I hate, Fanatics.
Oh yeah.
I'll get into them, why I think they're horrible for the hobby. They take a pool of these prices and they put them on, and they give you an average, and they'll like sometimes they'll have prices like, where'd that price come from? I have no idea where that came from. Well, I just go to eBay. eBay's pretty simple. You go to eBay, sold prices, there they are. I don't want to hear that you got something from Fanatics Live and someone paid half the price of what the card's actually going for. I don't care about that. So if you don't, I'm not going by your price. This is my price. You want it, buy it. If not, go somewhere else.
So do you focus when you're at these shows, are you focusing on cards, or is it all memorabilia? What is your kind of favorite thing to work with?
It's all sports cards at these places. Occasionally I'll get a rare occasional comic book come across my table. A couple years ago, I bought the first appearance of Punisher, Spider-Man number. Oh, what is that? It's number 138. Amazing Spider-Man 138, and it was signed by Romita, signed by John Romita, who's passed away now. He did the cover art. It's signed by him and I think the inker. I have 3 signatures on it, but Romita's the big one, and yeah, it's a 5.5 grade, but still it's like you have the goats in sports. That's like one of the key issues to have for Spider-Man, who's going. Rumor is the Punisher's Mr. Frank Castle is going to be making an appearance in the new Spider-Man coming up.
I hope, dude. I think he's the best Punisher by far. Like I love John Bernthal who plays. Are you talking about the movie, or are you talking about
the new movie coming? No, the new movie that's coming out now. Frank Castle is supposed to make an appearance. Yeah.
I love that. So you're also an avid collector of set lists at shows, and you're someone before you. Truthfully, I didn't even know that was a thing, and I've seen 1,000 shows. I didn't know you could possibly even get the set lists. I had no idea. How do you do that? Yeah, how do you do this? What magic are you working?
So I tried for you at the Modest Mouse show. I did try.
You did.
So one way of doing it is if you're up close to the stage. A lot of times they'll have set lists taped to the floor so the band knows what to play next. And the sound guys, the grips and stuff, they'll take them up and hand them to people. Or actually, I don't know if I want to tell people this. They're going to take my idea.
No, you know what? You have to have persistence and grit to do these things. So I don't think people are as driven as you are to get the set lists.
So there is another way, which I showed you. I don't want to, I'm not going to broadcast it. There's another way, and that is another way how I get them. Like I've gone to shows too where Mercury Lounge. I love the Mercury Lounge.
Oh, me too.
It holds 150 people in there. And one of the bands that I love, The Weeks, was playing there. And when they first started, they didn't play set lists. They everything was in their heads. They knew what to play. Then as they went on, they started writing set lists. And I remember seeing one on the floor in there. And I remember a girl had jumped up to get the set list. I go, can you please go get me the one that's over there? She goes, absolutely. She jumped up there and got me one. And I was like, oh, this is cool.
I love it.
And another time when I go see them somewhere else, and I jumped up on stage and I got the set list, and it was great. There's no security. No one's yelling at you. Here I am hopping up on the stage, a little place, one of the Bowery places, and then I'm snatching the set list off the stage.
So you've done now shows at Hofstra, I know that. Where are the big places for card shows besides Comic-Con and things like that? Where do you find them? How do you get in? Like, what's the process? If someone wants to become a card trader or a memorabilia trader, what do you do?
Gotcha. So there's three names I'll throw out there. There's Lucky Promotions. They took over JPS, Rock Solid Production. The guy, Jim, who used to run JPS, he now has the rights to run the National. The National is the biggest sports card show in the United States. And they have it annually, depending on where. A couple years ago, it was in Atlantic City. I went to that, and it was fun, but I don't think I ever want to do it again. It's just an overpriced museum is what I like to call it. You know, people got to make money somehow, right? So, yeah. But it's neat to go and see it. So anyway, JPS, he sold because he wanted to focus on the National. It's like a year-long thing that he has to set up for this. And he sold his business to Lucky Promotions. And Lucky's they do Philadelphia, Boston, Hofstra, and White Plains. Those are the four main places that they do. So I usually run the gamut. I don't do Boston though. I've done the Philly show, I've done White Plains, and I've done, obviously Hofstra is my favorite. I love doing Hofstra, but I didn't go to Boston. I haven't done that.
And did you just sign up?
Run those shows, and then
you pay. Like, how do you get a booth?
I was on the. You have to call them up and reserve a booth because I've been with them for so long. I'm guaranteed a table. Like when I first started off, though, I was on a wait list. You know, I was like one time I didn't get to go to a show because I was on a wait list and it never came through. You know,
really. So
I missed out on a show. But now I'm a regular and I always have a spot. So I have my booth that I go to. I'm in the same spot every time.
Cool.
And I like that. I like that because people that come to see me and want to buy stuff from me, they know where I'm at every time. Like you remember, you know who Mookie is?
Oh yeah, of course. Mookie
Mark
Wilson? Oh, I thought.
No.
Oh, Mark
that we went to school with. Mookie. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I see him every show.
Really?
I see him every show. Yes.
Interesting.
Yep. Whenever he comes, I give his son Pokemon cards.
So you do Pokemon also. So you're not just doing.
I do. So yeah. So I delve. My phone's getting ready to die here. All right. Sorry.
That's okay.
I gotta see how I'm gonna balance. Let's see how I'm gonna balance this thing. Oh, maybe I can do that. Sorry, I'm trying to rig this so I can.
Don't worry about it.
Balance like that. All right, let's try that. All right, that looks good. Okay.
I can only see your beard. I see your beard and I see your T-shirt, but no face. There you go. Better.
I'm trying to find a way to do this. Give me a minute here, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Duh. I forgot. I have a Ernie Dum Dum. I forgot I have. Let me show you this thing.
Have you a tripod?
Yeah, no, I have one. I forgot I had this.
There you go.
So I have this
nice
tripod that I bought. I bought that so I could do my sports cards, like take pictures, film them, or whatever. I got a big halo and stuff. So when I actually start delving back into eBay again, I really want to start doing more and more eBay stuff.
Sure.
The amount of eyes you get on things is amazing. But let's talk Pokemon.
Yeah, definitely delve in because I first of all I think it's funny and my kids love Pokemon. I know tons of kids that love Pokemon, but like, does anybody actually play the Pokemon game or do they just collect the cards to trade?
So there's three answers to that. Yes, people play Pokemon. Yes, people just collect. And yes, people do both. I started to collect Pokemon. I'm actually going to pull it out. I'm going to show you why I started collecting it. So I had this card come across my table one day. And I go, that's cool looking. I'm going to buy that because I really like the art in the card. So this is called a Charizard First Edition Unlimited.
Wow.
This card came across my table one day and I bought it. I thought I loved the art on it. So then I started to collect. I wanted to collect more and learn about it because they're coming into their 30th year or whatever. And so I have 30 years of learning to do.
Wow.
Because they've been around for 30 years. And so I decided to collect nothing but Charizards. So this is all Charizards.
Jesus Christ.
Different Charizards, right? Yeah. So in doing that, it helped me learn more about them. What a full art is, what a rare is. Some of them have swirls on it, which is really cool. Someone showed me that. So like the different hollows, they have a design and there's a swirl on it. And some people, I thought it was really neat. And I started collecting things with swirls on them too now.
Yeah.
Someone showed me this and now I learned about it.
That's
but
awesome.
all the different sets. I still don't know how to play yet. I want to learn how to play. I want to learn how, because I'm collecting the damn cards.
My kids will buy a pack and I'm throwing out like, that's garbage, that's garbage, that's garbage. Oh, we really collect the characters and not the energy cards and stuff like that. I'm sure, like Magic the Gathering, there's a game somewhere in there that, do you do Magic cards also?
Yes.
Did
no,
you see,
so not,
I was going to say, did you see that Post Malone, there was a Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering
he bought
card.
the ring. Yeah.
Yes.
He bought the ring card. Yeah, there's only one in existence. Yes, correct.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul carries his chain. You ever see his chain that he has? Okay, he's got a first edition. It's a first edition Charizard.
Jesus Christ.
It's like $100,000 card.
That's crazy.
It's a shadowless first edition Charizard. It's like $100,000 card.
Wow.
So that's his flex. Yeah.
So when so you're at these shows, do you like barter with the guy next to you? Do you trade stuff, or is it just to get rid of things? Like when you go, do you go with like is there like a mentality, I want to get this, this, and this, or how does it work?
So all the above. When I first would go to shows, like I would have a list of my collecting. So like when I went to the National, I wanted to find 3 cards. 3 cards I wanted to find. And I didn't find any of those 3 cards in the National, which I thought was crazy.
Really?
I saw more 1952 Mickey Mantles I ever had in my whole life. Okay, that card is not rare. All right, there's a lot of them out there. But the 3 stupid cards that I want, 2 were Derek Jeter and 1 was a Mike Trout. No one had those cards. I couldn't believe it. I go, this is National. I go, everything's supposed to be here, and I couldn't find those cards. I was so mad. I was so mad I couldn't find those 3 cards. I've since found those 3 cards though.
Nice. So would you at some point want to make this a full-time job, or do you like it as a passion hobby that you,
So I thought very heavily doing it full time. The amount of energy and work that you have to do with it, I don't want to put forth in it. I actually like the way it is now because I still have fun with it.
Yeah.
If it becomes a full-time job, I might not enjoy it. Because I remember talking to one of my dreams years ago, my cousin and I, we were, out of all the family members, we were the only 2 that still collected. And we were going to start our own card shop with his collection, my collection, like all the stuff we built up, and we were going to start our own card shop. He passed away though, so we never got to see that come to fruition. But we talked about that for years, and we said we're going to do it one day. We're going to do it one day. He ended up getting really. He had MS. So he passed away, and so we never got a chance to do it, which I was so upset. I really wanted to do that with him.
Yeah.
But now talking to other.
I was going to say, I feel like when I speak to other people on this about their hobbies, and I do ask everyone, would you make it a full-time job? Nobody says yes. They really don't, because they want to keep it as a hobby, and it's fun, right? It's there for you to have fun with.
Because I talk to other people, one of my buddies in the industry, he does this full-time. And he does collect still, but the business comes first. You know, he's all about rolling things over and I don't want to do that. You know,
right.
I enjoy learning about the hobby because you never truly become a master at it. You're always still learning. You know, that's what's neat about this. You know, there's always something new coming out. You're learning about a card that you didn't know existed. That's what makes it fun. You know, that's what really makes it fun.
It's like one giant side quest, right? You're just like, I'd imagine you kind of get like down a rabbit hole on what the thing is that you want to collect next. And then I imagine that I was listening to a podcast with a guy who collects Kiss memorabilia, and the amount of,
oh my God,
like sets and the amount of like time periods and the amount of stuff you can get it seems endless to me, you know?
The joke was with Pearl Jam, the joke was with them that they're becoming Kiss with all the merch and stuff that they have.
Really?
And I read an interview with Gene Simmons, and he has one of everything. He's got a museum in his house.
Crazy.
Dedicated. He's got one of everything. He's got one of every single piece of memorabilia that's ever made in his place. Right? He's got this crazy museum. Anyway, Paul Stanley had come over while this guy's interviewing Gene Simmons, and he says to Paul, he goes, Hey Paul, you want to come see the new stuff? He goes, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Paul Stanley does not care about it whatsoever.
No.
He does not care about the merch whatsoever. No. Gene Simmons loves it though.
I'm sure. So now, what is your next two things? Thing number one, what are you getting into now? What's your next thing that you want to start collecting?
I don't want to collect anything else. It's records and sports cards. That's
okay.
Good enough for me.
Okay.
I've collected Schwinn bicycles at one time.
Wow.
I was doing that. At one time I had like 30 Schwinns.
Jeez, who knew?
I had 30 Schwinn bicycles.
That's ridiculous.
I'm down to only 3. I've got my Gray Ghost that I can still ride, and then I've got an Apple Picker and an Orange Crate. I have those two still in boxes. But they're the repops though. They came out in 99. Yeah, they're like $1,000 bicycles now. It's sitting in a box.
All right, so now we're gonna wrap this up, but I want you to give the kid, the adult, the guy, the person that's gonna hear this. What is one bit of advice you would give to them before they got into the collecting, trading game? Like, what would you say to them that you wish you knew, baby, before you started?
It's not about value. Have fun with it. Like I said, once everything becomes values, it's like what I see. This is what I see now at the shows. There's more flippers than there are collectors.
Really?
Everyone, which is going to ruin the industry. Yeah, more people want to make money off of it than actually collect.
Right.
And that's why if you're going to do this, have fun collecting. Have a reason why you're doing it. Have a theme, something. Just have a goal in your collecting. You know, not how much money it could be, but like what you want to collect and have fun with it.
Yeah, because I can remember, you know, even as a kid, getting some of like trying to find the error cards in the baseball cards. What was it? The Ken Griffey Jr. that said "fuck you" on the bottom of the bat. Was that a real thing?
Oh, so that is a real thing. That is, what's his name? Ripken. That's Billy Ripken, Cal Ripken's brother.
That's right. I remember being
there's like 8 different versions of that card too.
Really?
So that's a huge card now. People ask for that card every show I'm at. Every time I have one, it gets sold. I don't have it long. That's one card that whenever I have gets sold. That and remember Bo Jackson holding the bat with the shoulder pads? Do you remember that baseball card? Okay. That's another card that any time I have one of those, it gets sold.
Really? Interesting.
And another funny card. So there's another one. So you know the Menendez brothers? They killed their parents and they were in jail. They're probably gonna get let out. So they did a Netflix special on them. Mm-hmm. And everyone that streamed, all these like younger kids are coming up. Hey, do you have the Menendez card? So it's I think it's Mookie Blaylock.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's Mookie Blaylock, I believe. Okay. Anyway, they're playing the Bulls, and in the background, the Knicks are playing. No, so it's Mark Jackson. Pardon me. The Knicks are playing the Bulls, and in the background of the card, the Menendez brothers are sitting courtside, watching this game. It's the night that they killed their parents.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the night they killed their parents, they went to the game afterwards. And it happens to be on a basketball card. And people go nuts for that card.
That's wild.
Yeah, they're in 2 cards. They're in that one. And a Michael Jordan insert card. So that one's harder to find, the Michael Jordan one.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah. I want that card.
Didn't know that, huh?
I did not know that, no. That's crazy. I did not know that. No. Now, is there?
And so everyone that watched the Netflix special, they wanted the card too.
That's crazy. Now, is there a way? Do you have like a website or something like that, or do you do direct trading, or do you just go to the shows? Like, is there? If someone wanted to get in touch with you to trade, with you?
Sure. I have my Instagram. It's CKS Card World.
Mm-hmm.
Go to that, and you'll see Christopher. You'll see me there. That's it. I post things on there of what I'm collecting because I'm a huge Mike Trout collector. So
Mm-hmm.
that's mainly why I got on there, is to reach out to other Trout fans and stuff like that. And so a couple of guys, we go back and forth with our cards.
Really? That's awesome, dude. Bunch of Trout heads. I like it.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. So now because he's been you're done. Okay, I was going to go
No,
on.
I'm not done. No, keep going.
Because Mike Trout's been hurt the last couple of years, it's been easier to acquire his cards.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's come down in price, so it like people say to me, "Oh man, your Trout collection must have taken a hit." I go, "No, I love it because now I can collect all the stuff that I couldn't buy before." You know,
Right.
Everything's gotten cheaper. You know, I said for me, it makes collecting fun because I'm not in it for money. That's why
Right.
I enjoy collecting it in the chase. You know,
That's cool. I love
so
it.
you got to
man.
have fun with it.
Exactly. I mean, that's like I said, that's the common theme across all these podcasts I've done is that, you don't want to make it a job. I'm assuming that if it can be lucrative, that's fun, but keep the passion alive, right?
Yep. I mean, if
right.
I had, let's say I
Keep
won the
going, yeah.
lottery or something like that, then I'd do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
If I won the lottery, I'd do it.
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
And I'm sorry that we didn't. Yeah. I'm sorry I couldn't find a way to fit in the airplane story.
No, Chris,
That's
we're
for
going to come
another
back.
time.
We're going to talk about the van and we're going to talk about the airplane because I wrote those down.
The van. Oh my God, that's right. The van has its own story.
Exactly. I want a story of just your side stories.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Like I said, I lived a life. I've traveled all over the place and stuff like that. So yeah, I've got some interesting stories. Yeah,
Well,
there's a lot of
that's
stuff you
awesome,
guys
dude.
haven't even heard yet either.
I can't imagine that's true, but maybe it is. I don't know. We have to have a night of Chris.
You didn't know about the van.
I did not know about the van. You're right.
Yeah.
I did not know about.
You didn't
the
know
van.
about the van.
I did not. All right, man. We're gonna wrap this up, but it's been really a pleasure talking to you. I mean, I love talking to you anyway, but it's cool to get some of the stories out into the public, and the ones we can share. The ones we can't share will not be out there, so don't worry about it. But all right, dude. Well, it's been awesome talking to you as usual, and I will probably see you next weekend anyways. And then we did it.
You